Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I wanted to talk to you today about disabilities and dating. Huge topic, very important. I was injured when I was 21 years old. And when you're 21 years old, or the years around that age, you are dating. I don't care if you are heterosexual, homosexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, you're in the dating world, wanting to be getting your feet wet, or perhaps you've been in a relationship for a while, but those years are the years you're doing that, whether you're in college, whether you have a career already, whether you're working, whatever else is going on in your life, you're doing some dating, or you're checking it out anyway. And so was I, just like anybody else. And then I got injured. And I was so afraid of so many things. I was afraid I was going to spend my life alone because my body had changed so much. I was paralyzed from the shoulders down, and I had lost my physical independence in many 99% of my physical body could not do what it could before I was injured. And you see me moving my hands and my arms. I could not do that when I was first injured. I was almost paralyzed from the neck down. I could just shrug my shoulders a bit. Thank God over the years things have changed and I can move more. But in the beginning, nada. And none of these changes on the outside or the changes on the inside I could see could be attractive to a man. And I talked to my family about it and talked to my friends about it, and I would always think, well, should I, if I was asked out for coffee or asked out for a cocktail, I would think, well, should I take a friend with me and their date or their husband, so if I need to use the bathroom, my friend can help me, or should I go on just, a quick date, maybe just for one cocktail, no dinner, because I wouldn't have to use the bathroom in that amount of time. How do I explain how to get me in the car? You have to pick me up, on and on and on and on. All my fears that I could go on forever. It would be a 24-hour video if I went on of everything I was scared of. And my family, and rightly so, said, Amy, if anybody asks you out on a date, they're going to realize that things are going to be different than somebody that wasn't disabled. And your job is to tell them what your needs are. And prior to my injury, I was a pretty confident person. I had grown up very independent. I was financially independent when I was injured. I obviously physically independent before I was injured. And I just kind of did my own thing and had an independent life for quite a while. That's just the circumstances of me growing up. So this was just an absolute, getting injured was yanking the rug out from underneath me and me landing flat on my face and having the self-confidence of a gnat or less. And my family was right as far as somebody understanding that your needs, my needs would be different. Your needs, if you're watching this and you're disabled, would be different. And that person will know that. But they're not going to know, again, what. That's your job. And just like in any relationship, you don't reveal all your so-called secrets right away. You lead up to them. And I don't care who you are, male, female, disabled or not disabled, some things are always just left to the mystery because that's just the way it is. It keeps things more fun. But in the beginning, It was absolutely positively terrifying. And the biggest mistake I made was at first not listening to my family and not telling someone what my needs were. And going out on dating and going out, I would always bring someone with me, and it wasn't really an issue until I fell in love. And I'm happy to say that person I fell in love with is my husband, and I can't imagine my life without him. But in the beginning, I was very foolish, and I didn't tell him what my needs were. I'll give you one very simple one. It's as easy as brushing your teeth, and it takes less time than brushing your teeth. People who sit in wheelchairs have to move. You can't sit in one spot and not expect problems. Our skin does not last forever if it doesn't get some circulation and blood flow to it. Well, all you have to do, if I'm sitting in a wheelchair that is not a power wheelchair like I am now, at the time I had one that someone would have to push for me, is every half hour you have to do something called a weight shift. And what do? You just shift your weight. I couldn't do it independently. Some folks can. So someone would just have to take me by the shoulders and lean me forward, and kind of my knees would touch my chest, and just like you bend over and stretch. And that's as odd as it looked. And I just needed to tell someone. So it wasn't like I had to go through this big ordeal and we needed privacy, and that was the simplest thing. However, it has catastrophic consequences if you don't do that. And I suffered catastrophic consequences from not doing that. What were they? I ended up in the hospital. I had 16 months of IV antibiotic therapy, and I had a pressure sore, and that led to a bone infection, and was in the hospital for 5 months. It was horrible. Now, that has a big effect on a relationship. And the person I was dating, again, who is now my husband, he was thinking, well, gosh, is this always going to be like this? Is this what we're always going to have to deal with? Because it was a horrible situation. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, is this always going to have to be like this? No, not if you're honest. If I had been honest, that whole scenario that was very serious health-wise for me as well would not have happened. That's as simple as it was. Lean over, stretch, let your tush get some blood flow. The end. So when it was all said and done, and I was better, I finally got the courage to tell Michael what my need was. And he looked at me with this appalled look, and I thought, oh my goodness, he's going to say this is too much, this isn't for me. He said, you just went through hell and back because of that? That's all we needed to do? I didn't have the confidence to tell him. I was so unsure of his reaction. And when I look back on it now, even I've been injured for 22 years. When we started dating, it was about 14 years we've been together. So that's how long. I was already 7 years into being injured, and I still couldn't be honest enough with someone that I wanted to spend more than a few hours of time with, where I could have another girlfriend or go out on another date with, someone that I wanted to spend alone time with. So whatever disability you have, if it does take some planning, and you do have to bring an aide with you or a friend with you, or have them meet you at home, or have friends and family and people, strangers are so willing to help, I have found, if you only ask. So if you're disabled, and you're out in the dating world, please date, have fun. It's good for you. It's the best emotional lift you'll have. And it's not, your needs are not a big deal. And if they are a big deal to somebody, then they're not for you. That person is not for you. But let me tell you something. If you weren't physically disabled, you would still, as every individual has, a quote wheelchair or a barrier that they're working through, a limitation they're working through. And those limitations only have as much power as we allow them. So please remember that. Your limitation, whatever it may be, only has as much power as you allow it. So thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And get out there. Girls, put your lipstick on, fluff your hair up. Guys, give a close shave, put some cologne on, and go out and have a good time. Again, thanks for listening, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.